everyone! Before we get into today's audio, I want to remind you to like and subscribe. It pushes me in the algorithm so more people will see this video. If you'd like to support me in other ways, I don't have channel memberships or Patreon. I just don't like that kind of setup. So you can support me via Twitch. I stream almost every day on Twitch, and I'm trying to get to partner, so every single view counts. Thank you so much, and enjoy the audio. Hello, darling. Open the door. Hello. It's so nice to finally meet you. What's the issue, darling? You look like you've seen a ghost. Who am I? Honestly, I feel a little bit offended, darling. I'm your Yandere Stalker, of course. I've been stalking you and following you for years now, because I love you so much that I can't stand being far away from you. And don't pretend you don't know me. You've seen me lots of times before. You've seen me hiding among those bushes or taking pics of you through your window. You even smiled at me at the amusement park when I was watching you from behind those comically big cups. So don't pretend like you were oblivious to this. You knew that I was stalking you. I'm not real? Of course I am, darling. How could I have knocked on your door if I wasn't? No, you're not hallucinating. But if you still don't believe that I'm real, you can come here and kiss me, just to see what happens. Okay, I'll explain myself. You are getting extremely pale, and I'm starting to get concerned. I don't want you to die. Again. Uh, we... We'll get to that. You and I need to have a long conversation. I have a lot of things to explain. Do you mind if we go into your living room and sit down? When I'm done explaining, your whole world will be different, and I think it would be better if you were sitting down. Okay. I know what you have been thinking since you opened the door. How can I be here? I'm not real. I'm just your imaginary stalker. You are so lonely that for the last couple of years you've been imagining that you have someone so completely madly in love with you that they can't bear being far from you. And that constantly stalk you. For you. I'm not more than a product of your imagination. Kind of an imaginary friend, but for an adult. And arguably more messed up. I'm just something you came up with to make you feel less lonely. And I guess that finding the person you believe to be the product of your imagination knocking on your door can be quite disconcerting. But I can assure you, I'm as real as you are. Okay, bear with me, darling, because this is going to be a wild ride for you. Have you ever heard that the brain can't imagine new faces? Well, that's at the same time true and false. And here is when things start to get weird. So, buckle up. You see, the human brain can't generate faces that don't exist. That's true. But that doesn't mean that you can only imagine people with faces that you've seen before. No, brains are an organ way more complex than you all imagine. Whenever you imagine someone, you're imagining someone exists. Even if you have never seen that person. I know, darling, it probably doesn't make sense to you. So I'll give you an example. All those characters you invented for your stories when you were younger, Those knights, witches, princesses, detectives, you didn't actually create them, you just unknowingly learned about them. They do actually exist, but in another universe. And our brains have the capacity to subconsciously perceive those universes. Yes, other universes. What we call imagination is just our brain connecting with one of the infinite universes that exist. Each and every person you've ever imagined exists in one or more universes, and that also applies to me. Exactly. I come from another universe. People in yours are still very far from proving the existence of parallel universes, but mine is more advanced, and that's how I managed to come here. My universe is honestly quite similar to yours. Obviously, I'm a regular human, as you can see. We also have our own Earth, which geographically is the same as yours. And I'm speaking English, so it should be obvious that our languages are the same too. There are small variations, like, for example, in my universe, hedgehogs are one of the most popular pets, but they are pretty much the same. Why did I come here? Well, to be with you, of course. You see, when you are quote unquote imagining someone, you are not only perceiving their body, but also their personality. So I can assure you that I am madly in love with you as I was in your fantasies. And now that I'm here with you, I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. I know you love me too, darling. After all, your brain connected with me because you like both my body and my personality, and especially my obsession over you. And I can promise you that you'll never, ever feel lonely again. How can I love you if I don't know you? Oh, but I do know you, darling. Or at least I know 99.998% of you. Are you ready for some more world shaking information? Great. Well, you see, some people had versions of themselves in several universes. I, for example, have slightly different me's in 37 universes, although I don't have a version in this universe. If I did, you would not have met them before. You are 124 in 124, which is an unusually high number, and one of your versions was in my universe. Them or you, because you two are to all effects the same person, were the love of my life. I was completely and utterly in love with you. You were the most beautiful, kind, and fascinating person I had ever met. I had never before felt something even close to what I felt for the version of you that lived in my universe. Yes, my darling, I said lived. Remember what I said about not wanting you to die again? You died, my love. You died a few months ago in my universe. Way sooner than you should have. You were the same age that you are in this universe. And that was the worst day of my life. It was late at night, and I was stalking you as usual. But in the darkness, I took a wrong turn and I lost you. As I tried to find you again, I heard noise. You and two men shouting at each other. And then you screaming. Guided by the sound of your voice, I run to you, but it was already too late. I found you, agonizing on the ground, bleeding from several different wounds, as those men ran away with your wallet. You took your last breath in my arms. A trickle of blood was running through your forehead as I held you, crying as we both knew what was going to happen. With my thumb, I wiped the blood from your forehead and you smiled at me. It was the first time that you had ever saw me. You didn't even know my name. And you knew that you were dying. But you still smiled at me. And less than a minute later, you were dead. Yes, yeah, I'm okay. Don't worry. But I definitely wasn't then. I had just witnessed the love of my life getting murdered. I became mad from grief, a grief that no one understood because we hadn't even talked before you died. But that didn't change the fact that you were the love of my life, and you were dead. I locked myself up in my home and spent the days crying constantly, reliving your death time and time in my head. Desperate, I thought about finding you in whichever other universes you might exist. You see, darling, in my universe, even though we've discovered how to travel to other universes, that knowledge is not public. Only some governments and researchers know about it. I don't want to brag, but in my world, I'm one of the brightest scientists to ever exist. You see, darling? Your partner, because we're absolutely dating now, is not only incredibly hot, but also stupidly smart. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Except for the dating part, of course. Yeah, I'm getting to it. Sorry, it's just so hard to not get distracted having you here with me. Well, I'm not just a world class scientist, but travel between universes is also part of my expertise. So I made a plan and spent months secretly using our supercomputer to analyze trillions of data to find each version of you, to locate the one who is the most similar to the person who had died in my arms. And that is you. You two are identical in almost all aspects. Not only physique and personality, but your hobbies, your friends, the books you read as a child. The only differences I managed to find was the name of your grandmother and the color of your phone case. No, darling, of course they didn't let me do this. Interaction with other universes is strictly regulated. But I didn't care. I had to be with you again. And then I discovered that you had been fantasizing about me for years, and that was the sign I was looking for. Thanks to my knowledge and some materials I stole, I opened a way to your universe and equipped it with the self destruction mechanism so no one could come after me and take me away from you. To be even more sure that no one would come looking for me, I also faked my own death. It's not like a lot of people cared about me back home either way. And that's why I ended up here. With you. I know, I know. It's a whole lot to process. I don't blame you. But now we're together, my darling. You don't have to fantasize about me stalking you anymore because I'll always be right by your side. We were made for each other. We won't be lonely anymore. No, why don't you show me around, my love? Your home is exactly like it was in my universe, but I never went inside. I've been trying extremely hard to stay calm because I had to explain this whole mess to you. But on the inside, I'm just jumping from excitement, being finally able to call you my partner. Oh, my darling. For some time, I thought it would be impossible. I thought that I had lost you forever. But now we're finally together. Oh, I'll be living with you, of course. I don't have a home in your universe, my darling. Besides, I know that we are perfect for each other, so why waste time? I love you and you love me, so there's no point in waiting before we start living together. I'm glad you agree with me. Of course, we'll still go on a lot of dates. I've been having trouble sleeping because of how excited I would to, go on an ice cream date with you. Or strolling in the park, or holding hands, just. Yeah. Money? Oh, don't worry about money. Once I manage to forge a birth certificate in my qualifications, I'm pretty sure I'll manage to earn lots of money. I mean, I am one of the best scientists from a universe which is more technologically advanced than yours. For me, quantum mechanics are just high school math. Every university and company in the world would kill to have me. I'll win the, how do you call it, Nobel Prize in less than 10 years from now. And I plan on using every cent to spoil my beloved darling. Of course I mean it. I literally traveled between universes for you. Do you think I'm not willing to indulge you and spoil the love of my life? Hell, I would even kill anyone if you so asked. There isn't a soul thing I wouldn't do for you. But enough yapping, as you say. I'm dying to see your whole house from the inside. Especially your bedroom.